The chat show, or as it's otherwise known, radio, is the slimmest, the least tangible of any television concept. Often seen as the ultimate individual reward for its host, it is in fact the career equivalent of a cushion held over your face. Quentin Crisp had it, right? Finishing a particularly fine anecdote on one show, he raised a hand to his interviewer and said, "Well, we must stop the questions there. I've just come to the end of my personality." Oh, how many a burnt-out, interest-bankrupt, confused king of the Babble Brigade has longed to bail out with that same honesty. But you can't, because you're the chat show king. Look at you, locked into yet another endless run. You bitterly recall the heady days of pre-production when you were promised you'd never have to hack it with some weary yank author on the circuit, nor feign an interest in the CV of the second female lead in this week's Screen 2. And there, 2 years on, you wander backstage into your own green room, a padded cell with room service, looking at the same vol au vents and spicy chicken wings that tonight's faceless clutch of yappies will actually think was laid on especially for them. And beyond there waits the fleet of courtesy drivers, always plenty of waiting time, your chat shows, lurking around in reception and sneaking tins of beer bought on your budget and making small talk with the security men. Who's he got on tonight, Harry? Dunno, no one famous any rate. Then there's the theme tune and title sequence. Abominable twin harpies tormenting you as you stand pop-eyed in the wings, trying to remember the name of the punk magician who used to live with the comedienne that you've gone on after Kim Wilde tonight because you've been told you mustn't bring that subject up. And another thing, why does everyone who works on the show hate you? Next thing, the agent rings with the good news. The BBC have committed you to 3 more years, 3 times a week. With bad behaviour, you could be out in 2. And that is the end of your personality.
Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, good evening.
Thank you. And good evening.
Good evening, Edna. Welcome. Welcome.
As host, your chief duty lies in creating the preposterous illusion that you get along famously with people you actually only know through a researcher-in-law. 2 things. 1, don't put your foot in it. And 2, eggy pauses say to your guest, "Who the hell are you?" Oh, and 3, Harold Wilson.
Good evening.
Just let me ask you one thing. When you were actually in the middle of this statistician's job, this happy computer lady that you were dealing with death and facts about death, what did you do?
What do you mean?
What did you actually have to do?
You don't have to answer that. That's a stupid question. Even I know what you used to do.
Let me put a question to you about something.
I wonder, has anybody in the audience a question for Robert Morley? I feel the sort of person that you're all longing to ask him a question. I've got whole thousands here. Is there any one person in the audience that has a question for him?
Quite obviously, they haven't plotted anyone.
No, oh, we don't. Any one person? Come on. Go on, now look. One.
And what do you say you're doing tonight?
Do you always want to be a movie star?
No, I wanted to be Queen.
What what parts in Shakespeare would you really like to play?
Well, no, and having reached these years of mine, the sere and yellow as it might be, there's only one, isn't it? It's really Lady M, I should think, or Juliet's nurse. In my youth, I did play Shakespeare, Desdemona and things like that, but now I'm a bit past it now, I think.
Now, tell me...
Say no.
Right at the top of this, I said the chat show is perhaps the least quantifiable of any telly bracket. I mean, what is it? Is Question Time a chat show? Those early morning problem thrashing, nuts and sluts gatherings? Is this? Or how about any of those deathless light magazine shows that are forever called Pebble Mill? Actually, I'm all for Pebble Mill shows. It was on one of those that I believe TV finally embraced old Beelzebub. It was just a little link delivered by Jen Leeming. Jen had to get from the subject of calisthenics to some book about Camelot, and this is how she did it. Calisthenics. Well, I wonder if they had yoldy-worldy keepy-fitty classes in the days of King Arthur. King Arthur. According to a book published this week, Vic Reeves, anyone? I mean, hang on, what was I talking about? I've had a Wilson-esque loss of thread. Oh, chat shows. And how to get into the next lot of clips. Oh, well, the next lot of clips...
Tell us about your first film. This was your second film, and I know you don't mind saying you're 49 years old.
That's right. Okay, I see the cycle of my upbringing. I see the cycle here that's been going down through generations, and I'm going to decide to break that cycle, which is what I... May I finish?
Yeah, but yes, but
May I finish?
I don't entirely accept that psychological point, as I say.
I understand, but may I finish?
Well, yes, if you have a point to make. Yeah.
Yes, I do have a point to make. Thank you.
I was 6 and 13 at the time, so you can imagine how suitable I was for the part. Now, you are a bit heavier than 6 and 13 now. I know you don't mind my saying, which is why you don't mind you.
It seems to me the important thing about the three of us is not just that there's a token woman, but that actually we don't even have a token creative writer among us.
But we do have a token Englishman among us.
None of us is actually a creative writer.
Yes, I am, my dear.
You mean those poems? You must be joking.
No, I don't.
They would say quite rightly.
Empathise.
Yes, they would say quite rightly. Yes, of course I can empathise. I mean, always in your remarks, Mrs. Gillick, you've always somehow monopolised the notion that you have some sort of peculiar standing on virtue and of some sort of peculiar sensitivity, which we are all somehow impervious to. It's monstrous and tyrannical.
Cloud and velvet. Now, that is a fashion pointer, but really, for men, do you really expect to sell those?
Of course, yes.
I mean, what sort
If they don't stop laughing, I shall tell the next person not to come on.
Oh, dear. You're not to laugh.
You know, the best way of removing negativity is to laugh and be joyous. So I'm delighted that there's so much laughter in the audience tonight.
But no, it's
But just let me say this.
They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
Fine.
They want to have that youth. Hold on one second. They want to have something like they had in the 70s. The skinheads to say, "Oh my God, they're all doing glue and they'll beat each other." Here we've got something completely peaceful, which is being used by the gutter press.
I can't listen to you without hound.
Get it out. Get that howl.
Talk seriously.
Do you think it's actually possible for one of us to get a sentence out without being interrupted? Thank you. It is.
John's a bit like someone who's written about in Grovel in Private Eye and says, well, I wouldn't have minded, but it just wasn't funny. He clearly didn't like the magazine because we gave his book a bad review.
Oh, that's absolute bollocks.
Let's try and keep it on a slightly higher level, if we may. Are you wearing perfume at this moment?
No, I very seldom do wear
No,
perfume.
if you turn your back to me one more minute. I have got to talk to this... This has been going on too long already. Well, it's only going to go on about another 6 minutes, and you're going to have another little part of it soon.
Maybe I should go right now.
No, don't go right now unless you really want to.
Calm down, or they'll all be at home putting their good life videos on, all right? You want... Now, hold it. You do that again, I'm going to thump you.
I can't look at you. Now, hold on.
Are you angry now?
No. I'm a little irritated at you, but I'm not angry.
Maybe the purpose of chat shows is to sell us out and settle us down. Same as in another era, one representative of the angry mob would be selected to present the mob's case to the famous yet mysterious wicked Baron. In would go chosen member, emerging 20 minutes later to tell all us fuming serfs that we've got the old boy figured all wrong. Look, he's not a wicked Baron at all, he's a regular guy. What's more, both representative and Baron are playing golf together at noon tomorrow. So why doesn't everybody go home till then, okay?
When most of us put a cross against a football club, we're doing the pools. When this man does it, he's buying the club. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome a man who is larger than life in every sense of that phrase, Robert Maxwell.
It's a proud moment for Picture Parade because Joan Crawford has joined us tonight to tell us a little about herself, to talk too about her new picture. And I think I should tell you it's her first appearance on television ever. Welcome, Joan.
Hi, Peter. How
are you?
Not frightened, are you? Yes, I'm scared.
Really?
Yes.
Joan, there are thousands of things I want to ask you, and I don't quite know where to start. But first of all, I think let's take glamour. Now, will you tell me what is your recipe for it?
Just live.
Terry, before you start, will you allow me, on behalf of the Commonwealth Game, on the occasion of your birthday, which your audience very rightly celebrated, to present you with a pink bottle of champagne.
When you find a talent, you take it to a director and you say, look, I found a lovely, lovely girl here, or a talented boy here. You can't say a lovely boy, so you can, but it isn't nice.
Yeah. So I said, if we're going to give away £1 million, then £1 million it'll be guaranteed.
And that's why it's got your name on it.
That's why it's got my name on it. That's why it is guaranteed.
Today we chose the most lovely, beautiful child in the whole world.
Now, who is
Except
that?
my own 4 children.
Yes? Who is she?
Miss Heather Sears.
Heather Sears, meet our viewers, and congratulations on all our behalves on getting this rather wonderful part.
By the way, the many millions of people are watching the show. If you've enjoyed that television, which the BBC put on, send me £1 or whatever you care, so as to make up the deficit, which, by the way, is likely to be close to £4 million.
Because Esther Costello is a blind mute.
My goodness me. So you've really got a lot of work to put in between you both, haven't you?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
do.
have.
Well,
We'll
may I-
work together well.
I hope so. I'm sure we will.
And how are you both getting on? Before you go, how are you both getting on with, you know, the film so far? You haven't actually started, have you?
No, but we will.
If I can do anything to halt the retreat of this country, which has gone on for so long, that the natives no longer remember going forward, I'd be delighted to do it.
Bless you both. Thank you so much. Before you go, I just want one little thing before you do leave. Thank you very much indeed. With our compliments, Joan Crawford, and thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
And Heather, likewise.
Thank you
Good
very
luck to you
much
both
indeed.
in the picture, and thank you for joining
Thank
us
you.
on Picture Parade tonight.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You know you're going to be great.
How would you like to be remembered?
As the man who has contributed in a small part to halting the retreat of Britain, which has been going back for so long that the natives have forgotten about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Maxwell. Thank you very much.
Here, I'll show you something. Come with me. I'll show you where all chat shows are won and lost. It's an area that's not on stage, but it's certainly not backstage. It's a sort of celebrity limbo. Here it is, this odd little area, where once the show's underway, it is strictly artists only. And while the host's out there doing his introductory stuff, you chat to each other about the dreadful ritual of these occasions, while all the while wishing on your fellow stars nothing but degradation, damnation and death. Because there can only be one star on a chat show. All that stuff about the right blend is a lot of crap. It's got to be you. And so you look across at your fellow gladiators and need them to die. Die like a louse in a Russian's beard, as one by one, you're called.
Four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Hold a second. This is Ben. Ben Elton.
Welcome. Is it Benjamin?
It is Benjamin, yes indeed, but my friends...
I once knew a Benjamin.
You did. You know another one. In the graduate hall, Benjamin.
That's right.
Yes. Why do you hate this kind of thing so much? Is it me?
Probably.
It's probably me. It's not the dried flowers or anything.
That too.
Do you do any of this stuff in America? I mean, do you ever
Never.
do a talk show?
No.
Are you glad you did this one?
No.
Those who remain sit nervously watching the show unfold on a monitor, and they wither a little every time an anecdote gets pulled off or a laugh gets extracted. Break a leg, break a neck. No script, no rules, no mercy back here. This is a big-time chat show. Everyone to grab the light and hold it while they can. Occasionally, a vindictive TV producer will exploit this carnivorous situation. These are the shows without hosts. Shocking, open-ended discussions where celebs try to work out a pecking order, any order, around a table. They begin as respectful colleagues and fellow pros. It invariably ends up like something from the pen of Ralph Steadman. Here are two shows, decades apart, wherein comedy people discuss just why they are so damn funny.
Personally, I write what I think is funny myself, personally. If the audience don't laugh, well, sod them, you know, I'm not concerned with them.
Johnny, look...
I write what I think is funny.
Yeah, but, you know, if they don't...
You have to do that.
Yes, but
you said you liked Marriage Lines.
Love, comedy with... Listen, Johnny... Johnny...
Marty, what do you want?
Johnny,
it's great.
Johnny, comedy with... Johnny, for
Once,
God's sake, love, you
only
know.
for your talent.
Ideas are the most important things in the world. If you
Not
can apply ideas to a character, it doesn't matter what situation they're in, it's the ideas are the important thing, what they're saying. It's all this shit about... Of course you don't see men up north wandering about in, you know, leather underpants. Of course you don't. I do, but what I've got with those characters, is the truth. In my head.
It's okay, you say this, Johnny, you write the damn thing, you get out there and perform it, love, it matters. If the audience like, hey, let me finish, don't come on like this.
I'm a writer, I'm not an actor.
Right, quick with Patrick Campbell.
Hold on a minute.
That's what you're doing. I know that you think you're changing the world, but you're not, you're making jokes.
No one's asking us to change the world, but...
I'll come right back to you, because you haven't got a chip on your shoulder, you've got Vindaloo. Keith, that's a joke. Do you get it? He's got Vindaloo on his shoulder.
Keith, hold on.
Dickens was a comedy writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't say 20 years ago, it didn't start with you, comedy, or me.
Dickens had been writing for
But
television, he'd been
don't make
writing
statements like
Coronation
20 years
Street,
ago,
you know.
comedy writers wrote jokes,
He
you
would
know.
have written Coronation Street, and they've written it very well, but that's beside the point.
Darling, when you write as good as Dickens, you know, you'll make a fortune. You know,
Please
all right,
God,
so, you know,
my father
all right.
says,
Well, don't knock Dickens, you know.
Listen, this is all wrong, this. This is all wrong, your angle on this. It's totally wrong. Because every time I've been in a restaurant with 8 people, all having a bottle of wine, everyone's topping everyone else, and there's no one sitting there going, hang on a minute, you're all wrong here. So there's no one doing that.
But we're in a television studio.
Sod the television studio. Sod it.
I'm not
He's not
knocking
Coronation
him,
Street,
love.
all
I'm
right?
not knocking Dickens.
Okay, well,
you know.
well, don't say then that 20 years ago, comedy writing started. It didn't start then.
say
It started with Jonathan Swift. It
Johnny,
started
are
with,
you
you know...
deliberately trying to misunderstand me?
We actually haven't got a situation.
No.
It would be really nice if we could decide on one.
Yeah, shout at the
I didn't like
bourgeoisie.
yours, so you can shut up. And actually,
That is neither here nor there.
By the way, look, we're having a spot of bother hearing what exactly is being said here, because it's a splendidly lively discussion, marvellously lively, but just a little bit too lively, so nobody can hear what anybody say.
Cockney accent, obviously.
Could we try and put that to rights in part 2? I'd like to start from this Hancock with you, Duncan.
Angry,
Wood.
but into the mic, John. Okay?
Yes, fair enough. Yeah, that'll do. With Hancock, Duncan, what is it about a series like this which has come
When I
back
hate you, I
and-
talk this to
could I please... Look, we'll wrap this up in 60 seconds if I can't make
Surely,
a point
yeah.
without being heard.
And that is why chat show hosts are so extremely well paid and eventually go so extremely mad. They protect us from them and them from us. TV's own UN force. Besides, without a host, without the rules, show people would soon revert to type and start talking to themselves.
You don't say that to me. How dare you do that? How dare you stand there and say to me it's wonderful TV? I mean, it's so f***ing stupid. This whole programme is about situation comedy, all right? This is a situation comedy you've ever had.
This is a
Don't talk such shit.
Comedy. It isn't
Shit.
a situation comedy.
Shit.
There's a difference.
You don't understand the nature of the medium you're working in.
Tell us. Come and sit
I already
down.
have, you dick brain. How dare you do that? How dare you stand there and say, this is a situation comedy. If
No,
you
it
edit
isn't.
it correctly, it's a situation
This is
comedy.
actually the Late Show.
This one.
This isn't a
God,
situation
you're so
comedy, and there
thick.
is a difference.
I'm going home, man. You're so fucking dead. You really are dead. Okay. And I like your telephone manner, it's nice. And I'm sorry I'm picking on you. But all of you, and the producer bastard up there, all of you.
Come back and finish the dinner. Finish the conversation.
Off.
What a personality. Hey, mind you, producers, he can hold his own, he grabs the attention, got plenty to say. There's only one thing to do with a talent like that. Give him his own